Need a lot of 1x6s, 2x6s, 2x4s, lots of dimensional lumber to finish so I can start working on the roof here pretty soon. So, but today's focus is going to be on the 6x6s. I will take one 6x6 out of each log and any side lumber that I can get. I'll kind of talk to you as I'm sawing along, hopefully a little bit. And I hope you enjoyed this. All right. So we're going to go over here and get on the tractor, get our log ready. You going to follow me? No, you're just going to sit there. You know, sometimes you just work so well, and then the next time you don't do so good. All right, let's try it again. You know, there's a lot of YouTube guys spend hours and hours and hours editing their videos. I got a house to build, so I don't do that. I'm just kind of, you're going to get what you get. And I just got to take them the way they come. So you watch as much of this as you want. Shut it off whenever you want. Nobody's making you stay. I'm not making no money on this video, so that's no problem for either one of us. All right, here we go. There, very good, thank you. Whoop. What did I do? Wow. I'll move the tractor out of my road. All right, got that out of the way. The first thing we got to do is lock this log into place and make our first cut. It's pretty good right there, actually. I think I'll leave it. Sometimes I like to rotate them a little bit, get the flattest side up. But this is pretty straight. Not a lot of taper to it, so don't have to do anything fancy. Just kind of a straight cutting deal. We'll probably crank this thing up to 10 or 11 inches, and for our first cut, got to get rid of the bark first thing. I might try that. All right, that's the first cut. Now I'll tip this up on the side. See if we can get another one. As easy as that one. Sometimes you gotta fudge around quite a little bit to get what you're after, but like I said, this one seems pretty good. Yeah, she's a little low on this end, so if I raise it up a little bit, it'll help me keep the center of the log as level as possible. That one was kind of meaty. I probably could have got another board out of that thing. Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Oh well. This is shaping up to be a nice looking cant. What comes up with? Oh! Ooh! I just about whop, rolled that one right out on my toe. That would have been a bad deal. Can you imagine that landing on your toe? Okay, now I got it square, 9 inches. It's a 9-inch square. We got to get it down to 6, so you can start to see some lumber's going to start showing up now. Okay, I'll go 7, and then I'll flip it over and get the other one off the other side. I set these down there because I'm going to trim a little off of them. They got bark on them, so I'll take the bark off. I'll flip this over first, and again. Take one cut off this side, and now it's 6 by. Theoretically, 6 by 9 actually. Okay, so now it's 6 by 9. So I'll flip this up. Like that. So this one, like that. Put the bark up. The bark up. Make a couple of cuts, and then I'll flip everything over again. 9, so we go up to 8. There's our first, there's our first 1 by 6 off that log. Got a little bark on it, but it won't hurt nothing for what I use, for where it's going. All right. We'll take one more cut off of this side, and that should get rid of the rest of the bark on them boards behind it. That's 7. Now these good ones like this, I saved them. Because all the wood has to have a stick in between each layer. Several sticks. We call them stickers. And Donna usually does the sticker piling. But this time I'm doing it right here. I don't like to do it here because half the time when I move this pile, I make a mess of it. It just has to be done twice. Okay. I will take one more cut, but I want to flip it over one more time. And the reason for that is that keeps the center of that wood as close to the center as I can get it, which makes it warp less. That's really what we're after. No warpage. And then I'll flip these up because they got bark on them. Spin them around. Okay. And we'll take that down to 6 inches. Oh, did I lose you? I think so. What happened? What happened? Hey, there you are. Keep up. Okay. Yeah, we can shut the bracket off for a bit. All right. So I hauled over 3 1x6s already. Here will come 3 more. And man, that's a beautiful board there. Now, each one of those cants, believe it or not, if I was going to buy them to build my house, they run about $7 a lineal foot. These are 10 foot long. The math says, ouch. Every one of my 6x6s are worth $70. $70. Holy mackerel. Why? Not counting the 6 1x6s, just the cant. I almost made a living wage. Actually, if I was going to buy the cants that I was going to use this winter on my house, which is, I still have a lot more to build for next year. But what I'm building this year, the cants that I've used so far, or I'm going to be using this year, going to be about 10 to 11,000. $10 to $11,000 worth. I paid $3,800 for the wood. Add into that the gas that I burned, which is about a gallon a day if I work all day. You know, a box of blades for the whole job, a couple $100. Pretty cheap stuff when you get right down to it. So anyway, that's where we are. Okay, boys and girls. Last time, whoa. You know, when I cut this end, I could tell it was so heavy down here. I had a hard time pushing the saw through it. It weighs a ton down there on that end. Holy buckets. I have no idea why one end of this log is that much heavier than the other end, but it is. Don't come off there, you turkey. Okay. Wow. But that's a beaut. Oh, there you are. Looking for McCantook. I got so much sawdust piled up here now, I got to drag it off pretty soon. Okay. We'll throw that one off and get another one. I see the camera's looking the other way again. That's okay. All you're going to see this way is my backside anyway. So maybe the camera knew that and said, whoa, that ain't fit for YouTube. What do they say? If you can't find them, grind them, right? All right. I'll load this log up, and I think I'll stop and see what we got. I did this already once today and had nothing. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take that bottom one first. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hang on. I'm almost ready. What's going on? You don't like something? There we go. Boy, them are nice trees, though, I tell you. This bunch was. Some of them have not been the greatest, but all in all, they've been pretty darn good. I've been pretty happy. I definitely got my money's worth.